the people an insight of what life was like before Kodako and how things are going now.
Before I joined Kodako, I was going through a lot of difficulties to land DevOps roles or cloud engineering role. Kodako course itself was the fact that like how everything aligns together.
What would you say was the moment where things changed for you, where you're like, okay, I could do this?
My interview that I did with you guys was more nerve-wracking than actual
The
job
real
interviews
one?
that I've done. I think that was like 95% of the interview that actually, for the role that I actually got. For that role, I didn't get the offer for the final stage, but they gave me really good feedback. There's just a few things they said that I could have been a little bit stronger in.
Walk us through that moment you got the offer.
I was at work, I got the call, and it was like, yeah, would you be happy to basically accept the offer? I was very thankful to Allah.
Do you think this is something that anyone could do?
Honestly, I think anyone can do it.
Assalamu alaikum, Mustafa.
Wa
It's a
alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi
pleasure
wa
having
barakatuh.
you here today, man. Pleasure having you today. We're gonna just talk a brief intro about yourself. Where were you before Kodako? Where you are now? Obviously, congrats on the new role that you landed. But give the people an insight of what life was like before Kodako and how things are going now.
Yeah, before Kodako, obviously, I graduated from uni. So I did a computer science degree. I was in the field. I actually did a placement. I did a paid placement at a consultancy firm, which was good in the sense of like CV, but I didn't get much tasks to do. So it was like, yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, it was kind of like an IT admin role a little bit. Before I joined Kodako, I was going through a lot of difficulties in terms of the application process, in terms of the skills needed to land DevOps roles or cloud engineering role. I think a big part of it is the amount of juniors that were applying for like grad schemes. So yeah, it was like thousands. Yeah, and then it was like, yeah, I think I was going through every civil service grad scheme there was. It was difficult. I think I went to a final stage in one of them. It was like a 4 month process. I put all my eggs in that basket. Yeah, and in the end, I got to the final stage. I did well, but there were two candidates that were better than me. And yeah, it was a bit disheartening when they put you on a reserve list. So yeah, I think after that, me and my friend, who's in Kodako right now as well, we came across your TikTok. And yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, we have to like give it a go. But yeah, funnily enough, I knew some of the co-founders before Kodako.
Yeah.
So I used to have like Abdurrahman and Mo Bakar on LinkedIn. So I used to give them a few messages, I think it was like at the time when they were at Trainline or
Okay,
like around
yeah.
that time. Yeah. So like, yeah, I think I did one of their like CV appointments, whatever. I think I booked
Okay,
in a
wow.
consultation with
Yeah.
them. Yeah, so it was good. I think Kodako was really good. I feel like it speaks for itself, the fact that like there's so many people that got roles and they're willing to like, yeah, renew and stay for the next year because everyone knows that like, okay, the development doesn't stop at your first role, gonna keep
Exactly.
going. For me, it was yeah, it was a great decision for myself.
That's a really interesting story actually, because a lot of grads, again, the market's tough for a graduate, man. It's not like how it was back in the days, and it's only gotten worse. And you're seeing all these news articles, the graduate job market's cooked. There's 17,000 jobs, 2 million new grads. There's more grads, or there's more students at university than ever, but less jobs
Yeah.
than ever, right? So it can feel super disheartening to even attempt going down the graduate scheme route. So you said it was 2 years post graduating that you weren't able to land a role?
Yeah, it was 2 years. It would have been 2 years, yeah.
So at that point when you were searching around, right, I'm sure you looked at other courses. I'm sure you looked at other things where you're like, I need something, I can't be stuck in this position forever. What made Kodako stand out to you? How did it compare to maybe other boot camps? Did you look at other courses? Were you thinking about other careers? Where were you at with those decisions?
To be fair, I don't think I was looking at other boot camps per se. I think for me, it was like more like Udemy type courses. Okay, let me learn this skill. Let me learn that skill. Like I'd be in a lot of interviews, probably interviews I probably shouldn't have been in, where they were asking me stuff about Docker and like I had no clue about it. So there was like times I thought, oh, let me just buy a Udemy course on Docker. But then yeah, I would try a few things like that, and it just wouldn't work because
So
I
you were
didn't
trying to
understand.
self-study to get into DevOps a bit.
I think it just I thought I could kind of blag my way through interviews a little bit,
Yeah.
just like learn a little bit enough that like I could get through it. Protocol course itself was the fact that like how everything aligns together. So like you learn this, but it comes into play with this and like how it all connects.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it kind of makes sense when you're talking about it and you're in an interview. So yeah, it was good in that sense. I think everybody will always have a little bit of like, is this like the right thing for me? But I think that's just that's just like self doubt a little bit. I don't know. I feel like if you think about it logically, the ROI on it is, and there's so many success stories when I joined. So many different people, different backgrounds. If all these people who don't have a tech background can do this, I'm a person from a tech background. Like
Yeah,
I did a whole bachelor's in it, and I did a placement in it, even though like I didn't find it like that useful. But yeah, like I have a better standing to start up with than all these people, and they've done it. So
for sure. I can imagine because we don't always get that representation and we don't always get to see what's possible. So sometimes we are just, sometimes we think, oh, you know what, this can't be done. Or you hear a lot of the negativity online where you're like, oh, you can't break into DevOps, you can't land
yeah,
these roles. So sometimes that could hold people back. But Kodako, we're the place that makes it possible. So but everyone has a different answer to this question. I'm curious to see what you say because everyone's has a different journey. I've recently spoken to a mid-level engineer that doubled his salary. I spoke to, completely non-tech background. I've spoken to quite a few people, and each of them answers this differently. And the question is, right, what would you say was the single most helpful part of Kodako for you?
that's a tough question. I think there's so many aspects that all play a role.
Yeah,
But if I would say one aspect that's like I felt like that was really the most beneficial, I think it was the interview preps. I think it might have been one as interview prep,
yeah,
which was I found like I learned like I was just jotting down. I was jotting down answers. I was jotting down notes. It was making me like go on ChatGPT, search stuff up. Yeah,
yeah.
I felt like it was really good. There's so many interviews that like cover different things, and the prep that I got myself. No, it was
Wait,
more of a book actually. I got my actual interview prep from. So I would say that and the so much different interviews they can go through. I think there's hundreds and hundreds of different ones. There's like senior ones, mid-level
it's hard,
ones.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's so much. I think I would go through them and then I'll just make notes. And then there was times where like I think at the beginning of the course, I think I went through one interview, half of it didn't make any sense to me. And then I'll come back after like 2 months. I'm like, oh, this actually came up in an interview that I did.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let me just make a note of it. So it was like, yeah, it was yeah. I would say that was probably the most beneficial thing.
And were you attending a lot of the live interviews as well, the live sessions?
For me, my schedule with work was a bit difficult, so I wasn't able to actually attend a lot of them. But I was catching up with them because my work schedule was a bit weird. I was working more in the evenings, so yeah, I was catching up with them in like the mornings, which was good. Like I had like a fresh like start of the day, so I could get focused on that. I felt like I really liked Hamid's Kubernetes one. I really liked that one. I think I still had like a few left just to finish it off. But at that time, I remember I was like really good. But yeah, there's so many different ones that are live sessions that are like really good. Even joining the interview preps. People don't tell you how like nerve-wracking it is because like there's so much people inside. I think my interview that I did with you guys was more nerve-wracking than actual
The
job
real
interviews
one?
that I've done. Yeah, the real ones.
Yeah, the mock
Yeah.
interview for us is like you're on the firing line, bro. If you survive that, you're good for the real job. The real job's a walk in the park, bro.
No,
If
it
you
definitely is.
you smashed it. Now, I want to touch on something quite important you mentioned in passing, but you spoke about how you didn't really have that flexibility to join a lot of the live calls, and a
Yeah.
lot of people are actually concerned by that. So those that might be watching at home that might have irregular schedules that can't attend the live sessions, but they're recorded. What advice would you give them if that's holding them back from joining?
I think it's not a big deal because it's like everything's recorded. I think it's always better to join live
Yeah.
to kind of get a better feel for it. Also there's like people commenting and all that stuff, so you can kind of be a part of that. It always feels better if you're on there live. But for me, I would say 90% of the sessions that I watched was after it was recorded. So yeah, for me it was like whenever I had like free time, quiet time. Yeah, it was usually early in the mornings. That's when I would come back and watch it. I think for people, I don't think they should get too caught up in that. I think the main thing is it's like you're not missing out on anything.
I know you mentioned that there's a few things that came together. And generally, when you're in that get hired phase, you're looking at mock interviews, CV reviews, lobby calls. What would you say was the moment where things changed for you, where you're like, okay, I could do this? Like, when you're starting to get interviews, or you're starting to like feel a bit more confident. Was it the first interview you did with Coda Code that you landed a job, or was it?
You know what it was? Yeah, I was getting loads of final stages, but I kept on tripping up on those. So I think there was one that I was really confident in. So I think before that, I messaged obviously the members of the community. We got a mock stage interview sorted for that. And that was my first, I think it's my first and only mock stage that I've done with the community. For that role, I didn't get the offer for the final stage, but they gave me really good feedback. There's just a few things they said that I could have been a little bit stronger in. I think I got a final stage interview for the role that I've got right now. Like I think it was like a week and a half later.
Okay, so you had that momentum period,
Yeah,
and even though you didn't get the offer for the previous role in the final stage, you knew you were a strong candidate, and you knew like it's a matter of time now, right?
yeah,
The next one or the next few, I'm gonna get it, inshallah.
inshallah. But also, I would say that prep for that interview, I think that was like 95% of the interview that actually, for the role that I actually got. I don't think I would have got that job if I didn't go through that interview prep that I did for the job that I didn't get.
It's very, very transferable, and people don't understand like why the mock interview preps really separate
Yeah.
people from others.
You don't, I feel like you don't lose out on anything. It's like, if anything, you're just adding on is momentum. I think you mentioned it. I think the biggest thing that I felt was like, it was momentum. There's times where if you just keep going, like small actions, keep going, keep going, keep going, eventually you'll get there. I think that anytime you take a little break, it's like harder to get the ball rolling again. It's difficult.
And even you said you joined alongside with your friend for the program, and even
Yeah.
he was like in a process where he started picking up that momentum, and then he's messaged me
Yeah.
every other week. He's got
Yeah.
interviews going on, and it's definitely a momentum game, and
Yeah.
you tell when someone's gone quiet, right? The periods that they go
Yeah.
quiet, momentum slows down, things aren't as fresh or not as sharp, because you have to
Yeah.
just keep chipping at it. But I just wanted to ask you this one question, right? And this one is probably a deeper one for you, because you after graduating, you were looking for a role and you experience setbacks, and sometimes it can feel tough. Walk us through that moment you got the offer, right? Where were you? Were you with family? Were you out with friends? Was it a phone call? Did you just read the email? Like, yeah, what did you tell your family? What was your reaction? Like, walk me through what that was like.
I think I got the offer through a call. It was the recruiter that was actually doing that for that role. I was at work. I was at work. I got the call and it was like, yeah, would you be happy to basically accept the offer? So yeah, it was really good. I was very thankful to Allah. I think I told my family afterwards. Everyone's reaction was good. It's kind of weird. I think when you see so much people in the community get their offers, it wasn't like it was a miracle, because it was like
Okay,
everyone
yeah.
does it. Everyone does it in Code. I followed the script and what like everyone was getting out of it, I got out of it. But yeah, I think it was mainly like just being thankful to Allah.
Amazing. No, that makes sense. Sounds a bit like when I was speaking to Yaqub about his story, right? Because he's like, yeah, I just followed what you guys told me to do. I followed the formula. I did all the technical stuff that you guys recommended. I did the projects. I did the interview prep, fixed my CV, did my LinkedIn post, and then yeah, I got the offer.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's definitely well deserved, and I think it is the byproduct of the formula, and that's what people kind of fail to understand. And do you think this is something that anyone could do, or who would you say Kodako is not for?
honestly, I think anyone can do it. I think as long as you've got like a goal in mind, if you have the sort of desire to like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with this, like the perseverance to like, you know what, regardless, even like there's gonna be some days where it's like it doesn't feel great. Like I think there's so many people in the course that talk about it. There's some days where like you've given it all, you're on a final stage, you fail, you
Yeah.
thought you'd be the one. Those low days, as long as you keep on going through them and like you just take it like as part of the process and it doesn't dishearten you, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna keep going because yeah, what else is the option? So yeah, I feel like if you have that mindset, I think anyone. I don't think it matters what background you're from. If you went uni, if you didn't, if you like yeah, if you're someone who's like familiar with anything in terms of like tech concepts or computing concepts, anything, yeah, as long as you've got the perseverance for it, it's gonna be easier for other people than some people.
So if someone's on the fence, right? They're on the fence about joining Kodako, what would you say to them? Because I know you probably maybe even told some of your friends about this. A lot of the people aren't the type to gatekeep and things like that.
Yeah.
There's people that your friends might have said to you, not sure, or there's a lot of people that are on the fence. Have you experienced that with people when mentioning Kodako, or what would you say to that person that's on the fence?
I think for me it would be what is the reason you're on the fence? Like, is it because you're unsure about this is career for you, I think then it's like I feel like okay, it's easier for you to like find out what you actually want to do. But if it's a thing where it's like, oh, like I don't know if it's a thing where like it'll be helpful or like maybe I can do things another way. I think for those type of reasons, I feel like this is like the better option for you. I think it all depends on the reason. I feel like if it's doubt or if it's like, oh, can I commit to this? Can I do this? Always go for it. I think you were talking about it once, the like the return on investment on it. It's like
Yeah.
it's insane. It's so insane. Yeah, it's insane if you actually think about it.
You feel like you got your money's worth for sure.
No, definitely. And some.
Yeah.
And some, but yeah, no, I feel like yeah, those people who are like certain that like this is like the career path that they want to be in, I feel like there's no excuse. There's no reason for you to be on the fence. I feel like if someone who's not really interested, maybe then it's like okay, yeah, it's like you're dabbling between like different careers. Maybe that's the thing for you. But yeah, I would say anyone who's on the fence that actually wants like a career in this, I think yeah, jump off the fence.
Jump off the fence, bro. You know
Yeah,
that like Humpty Dumpty, bro.
yeah,
You gotta pick a side. Oh,
yeah. Pick a side, yeah.
sick, bro. It's been great catching up with you and having this call, man. These calls make my day. It's a call that I always look forward to. So appreciate it, bro. And we'll catch up inshallah next time.
Inshallah.